Hey there, this is Logan Crockett with Full Circle Music. I am coming to you from our recording studios here in Nashville, Tennessee, and we are here today to answer your questions about the music industry. So you guys asked, what exactly is the best way for musicians to get featured on a blog? Well, I've got the answer for you. So when it comes to getting featured on some sort of blog or publication like that, the first question that I would ask you is, do you have some sort of big name already? See, when it comes to getting featured on something like that, people who write blogs, they are looking for one of two things. They're either looking for something really interesting that their readers are just going to love, and it's just going to create a lot of buzz based on what's going on in the blog. So bloggers love that. And then bloggers also love it if they're featuring someone or doing something with a topic that has a lot of draw or exposure. For instance, when the movie Avengers Endgame came out, there were tons of articles and blogs and YouTube videos and all this kind of stuff that might not even have been exactly about Avengers Endgame, but might have had some sort of tie-in. Like there's this YouTube channel I saw, and they talk about like medieval weapons and stuff like that, and they did a demo of what it would be like to actually have Thanos' sword. So I say that in the sense that a lot of people, a lot of content creators are looking for content that a lot of people will find interesting or be drawn into. If they have something that is very relevant or very popular, or a lot of people are looking up, then there's a good chance Google might send people their way through SEO, or maybe even other people will find it and discover it and share it more. So that's really what bloggers are looking for. So back to what I was just asking, do you have a big name? Because if you do, especially if they're a smaller blog and they think that by featuring you on that blog, you might, especially if you share it on social media yourself, or even just through people searching for you on Google, they might cause their blog to get found. Anything like that, if they're featuring someone who has a really big name, that's going to make a blogger want to write something about you. And as a really quick example, in another content creation medium, we at Full Circle Music have had a podcast for quite a while, the Made It Music podcast. And one thing that we're always considering is, does a guest have a big name, a big following already? We have tons of guests who don't, but we are interested in guests who do have a big following, who do have a big name, because if we get those guests on the show, then maybe a lot of their fans, a lot of their following will then discover our podcast. And that would be great for all sides. And so as a content creator, that's definitely something to think about. And on another angle like that, maybe you don't have a big name, but maybe you can prove on some level that you're newsworthy. And you can do that maybe if you're specifically targeting blogs. It might help to first be featured on some other content creation mediums, some other news mediums first, and then if you do that, then a blogger might be more interested in having you on, just because you seem more credible and seem more newsworthy. And some examples of some things you can do like that would be getting yourself on a YouTube channel, someone else's YouTube channel, whether it's an interview or them talking with you or some sort of collab, or maybe, like I was just saying, podcasts are great. I feel like a lot of people still underutilize that content medium. See if there are podcasts, whether they're music podcasts, or maybe you're a single mom who does music, and maybe instead of looking at a music podcast, maybe you can get on a podcast that's primarily about single moms, and your angle for that podcast can be how single moms can make music at the same time, that kind of thing, or have a really great hobby. So approaching it like that and looking for other content mediums to get yourself out on can be really great, because then you can later on go to a blogger and be like, hey, I've already been featured here, and here. And to a blogger, that'll just make it seem like, okay, you're legit and you're not going to waste their time. They'll at least, at a bare minimum, be more interested to take you seriously as far as considering having you on the blog or not. Along those lines, there's the question of, do you have a unique angle? Because if you do, and you don't have a big name, but you do have a unique angle, then you might be able to utilize that to get on certain blogs. Let's say, especially something like country music that's very outdoorsy, very, trucks and wilderness and, late nights out on the farm and whatever. With that kind of stuff, literally, getting in some sort of farming blog, or getting on a blog that talks about trucks, getting on a blog that talks about camping, like a lot of stuff like that. You might be able to use a unique angle that your music has to do with, and kind of approach bloggers from that perspective. And then again, just like I was saying about other content mediums, if you get on other content mediums, obviously if you get on other blogs too, that can really help with music blogs. So say you really want to get on a music blog, and again, you're that country artist, and you have gotten on this camping blog, and you've gotten on this truck blog, and you've gotten on this cowboy hat blog and all this kind of stuff. Then you can go to that music blog, the one that you really, really want to get on, the one that has all these music fans watching it. And you can be like, hey, I've already been featured on this blog and this blog and this blog. And again, they'll take you a lot more seriously. And it's a really great way. A lot of this content creation stuff can kind of snowball. The first pieces of content, the first, trying to get the first important people to notice you and consider you newsworthy is definitely the hardest. But once you kind of have, quote, something going for you, it's a lot easier for that to snowball, and other people will pick you up and take you seriously and all that kind of thing. So yeah, well, when you're at the beginning, don't stress too much. It's going to be hard. It's hard for everyone. But as soon as you get past that first little bit, it really does get easier. And my last idea as far as getting on a blog is, if you have money, paying for PR is a really, really great thing. I mean, PR's job is to get you featured in places like blogs, also other news mediums and things like that. But I mean, if you can hire a PR rep, then that could solve a lot of your issue right there. Especially if the PR rep doesn't have to like invent stuff to make you sound interesting, but you really have some interesting stuff going on, and the PR rep can use that and just tell the world about it. So if effort is more scarce for you right now than money, then there are definitely ways that you can use money to leverage the process of getting on a blog. So one other little idea about money is also, in theory, and I don't encourage this in all situations, but there are definitely bloggers out there. I mean, even bloggers who have massive massivfollowings, a lot of them don't necessarily make a whole lot of money. And if you would be willing, very similar to like sponsoring a podcast or something like that, if you would be willing to like sponsor a blog post, meaning pay the money to write about you basically, or to feature you in a blog about something else, then that could definitely be an angle you could try with some bloggers. I would see if it looks like they've done that kind of thing with other people. I don't know if I would approach that with a blog that doesn't look like they do that kind of thing. But there are definitely plenty of blogs who would be open to that, especially depending on the price you can offer, or the rate that they would charge for that. So really, at the end of the day, getting on a blog, like I said before, it is unfortunately not going to be easy, especially at the very beginning. And then in that way, it's kind of like booking. When you're ready, when you have maybe one of the other three ideas I've given you figured out, you're ready to really, target some blogs and ask them to be a part, or to let you be a part of their blog, you've really just got to do your research, and you've got to find as many blogs as you possibly can that you want to be on, and then you just need to start contacting them. A lot of them, you may not even be able to find contact information, or a lot of them just don't check their email that much, or a lot of them might just miss it or whatever. So you're definitely going to have that, and then you're definitely going to have a lot of people who legitimately pass on you. When booking, we like to say it takes about 40 phone calls when it comes to booking shows in order to get one venue to actually say yes to you. And I think a similar rule can apply to getting on blogs. You might need to literally contact 40 different blogs before one of them finally says, yes, we will feature you. So again, an uphill battle, totally get that, but it is a winnable battle, especially if you follow these strategies. So don't lose heart, go out there and make it happen. All right, thanks for watching. If you learned something, if this video was helpful to you, we really would appreciate it if you would go down there and hit that like button. It's super quick, super easy, super simple, and it does make us more friendly with the YouTube, so that would be awesome. But more importantly, we're actually doing a whole lot more videos just like this one, where we are answering the internet's top questions about the music industry. And so if you aren't subscribed to our channel and it sounds like you would love to hear our answers to some other questions, then please subscribe so that way you don't miss those. Also, speaking of questions, if you have any more questions, maybe there was something you weren't sure about regarding this video, or you're wondering about a completely different topic in the music industry, go ahead, go down to that comment section and write your question and let us know what's up, and we would be happy to get back to you and answer that, or maybe even make a future video about it. The last thing that I want to let you know is that at Full Circle Music, our team has created an awesome resource for you, totally free, and it's just a free mini training class that teaches you exactly what to do if you really want to have a career in the music industry. So if you would like to check out that free class, and again, it's totally for free, you can click right over here, and if you click on that button, then you should get immediate access to that class, and that would be really cool. Or if you would rather go and check out another video that answers a top question about the music industry, you can do that by clicking right up there.